Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered, who is that looking back? Is it just a collection of bones, muscles, and skin? Or is there something more? We live in a world that teaches us to trust what we can see and touch. We measure our existence by the beats of our heart and the breaths we take. But you know, humanity is a story far grander than what our physical eyes can perceive. Within each of us lies a hidden architecture, a complex and beautiful design that extends beyond the visible realm. This inner world is where the true essence of our humanity resides, waiting to be discovered. It's a journey not into outer space, but into the vast universe that exists within ourselves. This journey asks us to consider that we are more than just biological machines. We are beings composed of several layers, each one adding a new dimension to our experience. Think of it like a musical chord. A single note is simple, but when you add more notes, you create harmony, depth, and emotion. Our physical body is just the first note. Beyond it are other, more subtle components that give us life, feeling, and our unique sense of self. These hidden parts are not fantasies or poetic metaphors. They are as real as the ground beneath our feet. Even if they operate on a plane, our senses are not yet tuned to perceive. To truly understand ourselves, we must become explorers of our own inner landscape. We must look past the surface and ask deeper questions. What animates our bodies and separates us from a stone? What allows us to feel joy and sorrow, love and fear? And most importantly, what is that quiet, persistent voice inside that calls itself I? This exploration is the most profound adventure any of us can undertake. It is the quest to find the complete human being, the one who bridges the gap between the material world and the unseen spiritual cosmos. It's a path that reveals our true nature and our incredible potential. In this chapter of our collective story, we will gently peel back these layers. We will look at the physical body we share with the mineral world, the life force we share with plants, and the world of feelings we share with animals. Then, we will arrive at the one thing that makes us uniquely human, the powerful, self-aware I. This is not a journey that requires a spaceship or a telescope. It only requires an open mind and a willingness to see yourself and all of humanity in a new and more complete light. Let us begin this exploration together into the hidden realms that make us who we are. Let us start with what we know best, our physical body. It is our anchor in this world, a marvel of biological engineering. It is a complex system of bones, organs, and chemical processes that allow us to walk, talk, and interact with our environment. We can see it, weigh it, and measure it. Science has dedicated centuries to understanding its intricate workings, from the dance of DNA within our cells to the electrical signals firing in our brain. This body is our vessel, the instrument through which we experience life on Earth. It is a precious and finite gift, governed by the same physical laws that rule the stars and the planets. But what happens when the story of a life ends? At the moment of death, the animating forces within us depart. What remains is the physical shell. In this state, our body reveals its most fundamental connection. It returns to the mineral kingdom. The very elements that once formed a living, breathing person, the carbon, the calcium, the iron, begin to break down and reintegrate with the earth. It is a profound and humbling truth. In our purely physical form, we are no different from a rock, a crystal, or a handful of dust. We are subject to the same processes of decay and dissolution. This shows us that the physical body on its own does not hold the secret to life. Think of a masterfully crafted violin. It is made of wood and string, a beautiful physical object, but on its own it is silent. It possesses the potential for music, but it cannot create it. The physical body is much the same. It is the instrument perfectly tuned and ready, but without a player, it remains inert. The forces that make it alive, that fill it with warmth and movement, are something separate from its material substance. Recognizing this distinction is the first step toward understanding the deeper layers of our being. Our connection to the mineral world in death highlights the existence of something non-physical that must be present during life. So while we cherish and care for our physical forms, we must also acknowledge their limitations. They are the visible part of a much larger reality. The laws of chemistry and physics govern this vessel completely, just as they govern a stone rolling down a hill. But a stone does not grow, it does not heal itself, and it does not feel. We do. This simple observation points us toward the next layer of our existence, a force that elevates us from the mineral world and imbues our physical form with the miracle we call life. Our body is the stage, but the play has other more dynamic actors. What is the difference between a freshly picked flower and one made of silk? They might look identical from a distance, but one is alive and the other is not. The living flower grows, it unfurls its petals, and it will eventually wilt and decay in a way that is unique to living things. This animating force, this spark of vitality, is what we can call the life body, or the etheric body. It is an invisible field of formative energy that organizes our physical matter, holding it together in a living, breathing form. It is the master architect that builds and maintains our physical vessel from the moment of conception until our last breath. This life body is what we share with the entire plant kingdom. A plant, like a human, possesses a physical body and this etheric life force. It is this energy that guides its growth, heals its wounds, and directs its life processes. When you get a cut on your finger, you don't have to consciously think about healing it. The life body goes to work automatically, mending the tissue and restoring order. It is an intelligent, self-regulating force that constantly battles against the physical laws of decay. As long as the etheric body is strong, we are alive and healthy. When it weakens, we become ill. And when it separates completely from the physical body, death occurs. We can never observe this life body directly with our physical senses, just as we cannot see the magnetic field that moves a compass needle. Yet we see its effects everywhere. It is in the rhythmic beating of our heart, the cyclical nature of our breath, and the incredible ability of our body to regenerate. This is the force that distinguishes the living from the non-living. A crystal may have a beautiful physical form, but it cannot grow or reproduce on its own. A plant can. This is because the plant possesses both a physical body and a life body. The crystal has only the physical, so when we look at ourselves, we see a being that is one step above the mineral world. We are not just a collection of chemicals, we are an organized living system, constantly in a state of becoming. The etheric body is the silent, tireless artist working within us, sculpting our form and sustaining our vitality. It is the invisible river of life that flows through our veins. But our story does not end here. While we share this life force with the plants, we know we are more than a flower in a field. We move, we feel, and we dream. To understand this, we must look to the next layer of our being. Every night something remarkable happens. We lie down, our bodies become still, and we fall asleep. In this state, our consciousness withdraws from the physical world. Our life body remains, diligently repairing and restoring our physical form. But where do we go? We enter the world of dreams. This nightly journey gives us a clue to the third part of our nature, the feeling body, or what is often called the astral body. This is the part of us that experiences emotions, desires, pleasure, and pain. It is the source of our inner world of feelings, the vibrant, chaotic, and beautiful landscape of our soul. This astral body is what we have in common with the animal kingdom. An animal, like a human, possesses a physical body, a life body, and this astral body. This is why a dog can feel joy when you return home or fear during a thunderstorm. It has an inner life of sensation and instinct. The astral body is what gives a being the ability to move freely, to act on its desires, and to have a level of consciousness that a plant does not. A plant is tethered to the earth, quietly living out its processes. An animal roams, hunts, plays, and experiences a world of feeling. This is the gift of the astral body. When we sleep, our astral body, along with our sense of I, partially separates from our physical and etheric bodies. This is why we lose consciousness of our physical surroundings. Our physical form is left in a state very similar to that of a plant, alive, breathing and repairing itself, but without awareness or feeling. This is why a person in a deep, dreamless sleep does not feel a light touch. The instrument of feeling, the astral body, has withdrawn. The world of dreams is the realm where our astral body lives and breathes, processing the emotions and experiences of the day in a language of images and symbols. So now our picture of the human being has grown more complex. We have a physical body like a mineral, we have a life body like a plant, and we have an astral body like an animal. This astral body fills us with the rich tapestry of emotions, from the highest joys to the deepest sorrows. It is the source of our passions, our instincts, and our cravings. It drives us to seek pleasure and avoid pain. But if this were all we were, we would be no different from the creatures of the wild, guided solely by instinct and desire. There is one final, crucial piece that sets humanity apart. What is it that allows you to look back on your past, to remember the person you were 10 years ago? What enables you to stand apart from your own feelings of anger or sadness and say, I am feeling angry, instead of simply being consumed by the anger? This capacity for self-awareness, for reflection, and for memory is, well, the hallmark of the fourth and highest part of our nature. This is the I, or the ego. It is the core of our being, the silent observer within, the captain of the ship. It is the one part of us that no other being on earth possesses in quite the same way. While an animal lives in a perpetual present, driven by the immediate sensations of its astral body, a human being can transcend the moment. The I is what gives us a continuous biography. We can connect our experiences over time into a coherent life story. An old dog does not remember its puppyhood, it simply is old. But an elderly person can vividly recall the joys and sorrows of their youth, learn from their mistakes, and make conscious choices about their future based on their past. This power of memory, held and organized by the I, is, a uniquely human faculty. It is the foundation of our identity. The I is also the source of our freedom. An animal is largely a creature of instinct. A lion hunts because its astral body drives it with hunger. It does not pause to consider whether it should become a vegetarian. A human being, however, can. Our I allows us to stand above the desires of our astral body. We can feel anger bubble up within us, but we can choose not to act on it. We can feel a craving for something unhealthy, but we can choose to eat a salad instead. This ability to be the master of our own inner house, to make conscious choices against our immediate impulses, is really the very essence of human dignity and potential. This I is the most subtle and mysterious part of our being. It is not a feeling or a thought, but the thinker of the thoughts and the feeler of the feelings. It is the center of our consciousness, the point of stillness from which we experience the world. The mineral has a physical body, the plant adds a life body, the animal adds an astral body. The human being crowns this magnificent structure with the I. This is what makes us individuals, capable of self-reflection, moral choice, and the conscious shaping of our own destiny. It is the spark of the divine within the human form. How does this unique human I express itself in the world? Well, one of its most powerful tools is language. While animals can communicate through sounds and signals, their communication is tied directly to their astral body. Warnings of danger, calls for a mate, expressions of pleasure or pain. Human language, though, is something fundamentally different. It is through language that the I gives names to things, creating a conceptual world that exists alongside the physical one. When a human learns the word tree, they are not just identifying a specific object, they are grasping the universal concept of tree. This ability to name things is really a profound act of creation. The I uses language to lift the world out of the stream of raw experience and into the realm of understanding. We can talk about trees we have never seen, imagine a forest on a distant planet, or discuss the very idea of treeness. This is a power unique to a self-aware being. The I is what allows us to say not just water, but I am thirsty. That simple sentence reveals a universe of inner experience. It separates the self from the desire, acknowledging both. It is the I speaking of its own state, a feat no animal can perform. Furthermore, our very identity is woven from the threads of language and story. The I constructs our personal narrative, our biography, through the words we use to describe our own lives. We tell ourselves stories about who we are, where we have come from, and where we are going. These stories shape our reality and guide our choices. The ability to articulate our inner world, our hopes, our dreams, our philosophies, is a direct manifestation of the I at work. It is the bridge between our inner private universe and the shared world of other human beings. Think about the power of a name. When we are given a name, we are given a unique identifier in the world. It is the first word that our I learns to attach to itself. Throughout our lives, this name becomes the anchor for our identity. It is the sound that calls our self-awareness to attention. In this way, language is not just a tool for communication. It is the very medium in which the human I awakens, grows, and comes to know itself. It is the voice of the spirit within the machine, turning raw existence into meaningful experience. In our modern age, we place immense faith in science, and for good reason. The scientific method has allowed us to understand the physical world with breathtaking precision. It has given us medicine, technology, and a map of the cosmos. However, the very strength of science is also its limitation. By its own definition, it primarily studies that which is repeatable, measurable, and observable through the physical senses or their extensions, like microscopes and telescopes. It is designed to investigate the physical body and its laws with extraordinary skill. But what about the parts of us that are not physical? From a purely materialistic viewpoint, our life force, our feelings, and our sense of self are all seen as byproducts of complex chemical reactions in the brain. Consciousness is explained as an emergent property of neural networks, but this explanation, honestly, can feel incomplete. It is like describing a beautiful painting by only listing the chemical composition of the paints. It misses the art, the intention, and the meaning. The experience of being alive, of feeling love, or of knowing oneself as I is a primary reality. Science describes the physical processes that accompany these experiences, but it does not fully explain the experience itself. The etheric body, the astral body, and the I are, by their very nature, non-physical. They cannot be placed on a slide or put in a test tube. They belong to a realm that operates according to different laws. Therefore, a science that limits itself to the physical realm will inevitably conclude that they do not exist. It's like trying to catch fish with a net designed to catch only birds. This does not mean the fish are not there. It only means our tool is not suited for the task. To grasp the whole human being, we must be willing to entertain ways of knowing that go beyond physical measurement. This is not a criticism of science, but an invitation to broaden our perspective. True wisdom lies in integrating all forms of knowledge. We can honor the incredible discoveries of science about our physical bodies while also honoring the deep, intuitive truths about our inner lives that have been part of human wisdom for millennia. The fact that you can experience your own I right now, reading these words, is a piece of data just as real as any number on a screen. Acknowledging the unseen realms of our being does not contradict science. It completes the picture, giving us a richer, fuller understanding of the mystery of being human. We have seen that the human being is a composite of 4 distinct parts: the physical, the etheric, the astral, and the I. The first 3 of these we share with the lower kingdoms of nature. Our physical body links us to stone, our life body to plants, and our feeling body to animals. These lower parts have their own powerful impulses. The physical body experiences inertia and decay. The life body functions on autopilot, and the astral body floods us with raw emotions, desires, and instincts. Left to their own devices, these forces would rule us completely, making us creatures of habit and impulse. But the I has a unique and noble task. Its purpose is to gradually take command of these lower members and transform them. The I is the inner alchemist, with the power to turn the lead of our base instincts into the gold of conscious, purposeful action. When you feel a surge of anger from the astral body, and you consciously choose to take a deep breath and respond with patience, your I is actively working on and refining your astral body. You are not suppressing the feeling, you are mastering it. This is the path of human development and spiritual growth. This process of self-mastery takes a lifetime, and indeed many lifetimes. It is the great work of being human. Every time we act out of conscious choice rather than blind reaction, we strengthen our I and elevate our nature. We can train our life body through disciplined rhythms and healthy habits, overcoming the body's natural tendency towards chaos. We can purify our astral body by cultivating higher feelings like compassion, courage, and reverence, transforming selfish desires into selfless love. This is how we slowly build a soul that is a true and beautiful expression of our highest self. This inner work is the source of all true progress, both for the individual and for humanity as a whole. A society is only as enlightened as the individuals within it. When people learn to master their inner worlds, the outer world begins to reflect that harmony. We move from a world driven by fear, greed, and conflict, the untamed astral forces, to one guided by wisdom, cooperation, and love, which are the qualities of a masterful I. The potential for this transformation lies dormant within every single one of us, waiting for the I to awaken and take up its sacred work. So, where does this journey of exploration leave us? It leaves us standing at the threshold of a magnificent new understanding of ourselves. We are not merely advanced animals, destined to live and die according to the blind laws of nature. We are fourfold beings, a meeting place of heaven and earth. We carry within us the legacy of the entire cosmos, the stability of the mineral, the vitality of the plant, the passion of the animal, and crowned above it all, the divine spark of the self-aware I. To know this is to realize that our lives have a profound purpose. Our destiny is to become fully human. This means consciously awakening our I and beginning the great work of transforming our inner nature. It is a call to become the artists of our own souls, sculpting our thoughts, feelings, and actions into a masterpiece of wisdom and love. This is not a task for a select few, for saints or mystics. It is the birthright and the potential of every person walking the earth today. The challenges and struggles of our lives are the very tools we are given to undertake this work. Every moment of choice is an opportunity to strengthen our I and grow. Look around you. Look within you. You are more than your job title, your bank account, or the reflection in the mirror. You're a spiritual being on a human journey. The universe is not just out there among the stars. It is also in here, in the hidden realms of your own being. By exploring your life body, understanding your astral world of feeling, and connecting with the quiet power of your I, you begin to walk a path of self-knowledge and freedom. You start to see the sacred in the ordinary and find the spiritual woven into the fabric of your daily life. Let this understanding inspire you. Let it fill you with a sense of awe and responsibility for the incredible being that you are. You carry a spark of the eternal within your finite form. Your task is to tend to that flame, to allow it to grow in brightness and warmth, and to let its light shine out into the world. The journey into the hidden realms of humanity is the ultimate adventure. It is the journey home, to the discovery of your true self and your limitless potential to create, to love, and to become. The giant within is stirring.